Just at noon, the Trump administration has already laid off many federal workers who are within their first year of employment. Now they're taking steps to begin deep cuts to employees who have more tenure. Erica Brown has more details from the White House.
President Trump says more government workers will soon be fired.
We're cutting down the size of government. We have to. We're bloated. We're sloppy. We have a lot of people that aren't doing their job. We have a lot of people that don't exist.
The announcement came as he held the first cabinet meeting of his second term. The government agency heads received a memo today instructing them to submit reorganization plans by March 13th that include large-scale reductions in force.
Elon Musk spoke at length during the cabinet meeting addressing the Department of Government Efficiency's coordination with agencies to make the job cuts.
We wish to keep everyone who is doing a job that is essential and doing that job well. But if the job is not essential or they're not doing the job well, they obviously should not be on the public payroll.
The president defended Musk's email to federal workers demanding they list 5 recent accomplishments or risk losing their jobs.
Those million people that haven't responded, though, Elon, they are on the bubble. You know, I wouldn't say that we're thrilled about it. They haven't responded. Now, maybe they don't exist. Maybe we're paying people that don't exist.
And he said because so many employees did not respond, Musk could send another round of emails requesting accomplishments soon. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Meanwhile, 131 people on Maui have lost their jobs after a federal program for wildfire survivors suddenly shut down because of funding issues. The National Dislocated Worker Grant, which is funded by the U.S. Department of Labor, paid participants for wildfire recovery-related work at no cost to the employer. The Maui Economic Opportunity, which managed the program, says the uncertainty of funding left them with no choice but to shut down immediately to prevent incurring future expenses. It will have a resource fair for those who lost their jobs on Saturday at its office at 9 a.m. After a month-long retrial, Eric Thompson is now a convicted murderer. The jury announced its unanimous decision Tuesday afternoon. The 37-year-old East Oahu contractor was found guilty in the 2022 shooting death of Waipahu acupuncturist John Tokuhara, who had an affair with Thompson's wife. Now, some of Tokuhara's loved ones broke down in tears in reaction to the guilty verdict. Thompson was taken straight from court to jail, and the judge revoked his bail. He faces the possibility of life with parole. The jury is now deciding if Thompson should receive an extended sentence. John Hoffman, the man accused of murdering his wife and 2 children nearly 9 years ago in Puna, has been found fit to stand trial. Araceli Hoffman, her 7-year-old daughter Clara, and 5-year-old son John Jr. were all found dead in Leilani Estates in 2016. They were all shot in the head. Hoffman told police intruders broke into his home and opened fire, but later officers found Hoffman covered in blood and his wife's body in the trunk of his car. According to West Hawaii Today, Hoffman was originally found fit to stand trial back in February 2017, but he has gone through multiple rounds of fitness proceedings after some bizarre courtroom behavior. He remains in custody on $2 million bail. A Maui man who got away with a brutal rape and murder for more than 4 decades now faces the possibility of life in prison. 78-year-old Gary Ramirez was convicted in California's Santa Clara County on Monday. He pleaded no contest to the 1982 slaying of Karen Stitt in Palo Alto. The 15-year-old was sexually assaulted and stabbed 59 times. The case went cold until 2022 when police arrested Ramirez in Makawao based on DNA evidence. In the years before that, Ramirez had joined the Air Force, got married twice, and had 2 daughters. His sentencing is set for May. A 22-year-old man was arrested for animal cruelty after a disturbing video circulated on social media. The dog is safe, and as Eddie Dowd reports, there is a push for a conviction.
The video you are about to see is hard to watch. It shows a man walking down the street on Oahu's west side, swinging a puppy by its hind legs.
Disturbing. The way he swung her around. She's a puppy. Her brain is not fully developed yet.
Chantel Moniz runs a nonprofit that's focused on spotting animal abuse and raising awareness. She says a supporter with professional experience de-escalating situations was able to track down the man after tips from the community.
There was a person that went and got the pup from the abuser and removed her. And then they took her to the vet. There's no chip, and I mean, we don't know where this person got her from.
HPD says police arrested a 22-year-old man in the Waianae area for second-degree cruelty to animals, a misdemeanor. Retired HPD Deputy Chief John McCarthy says it takes more than video evidence to put someone like this behind bars or in a psychiatric facility.
Video is not viewed as the best evidence necessarily. Video can be altered. Video can be a snapshot in time. So there's got to be other things to, more or less corroborate the video, show the person's intent.
In January, a woman paid a $500 fine for animal cruelty for lifting her dog in the air by a leash and hitting him, but the court gave back the dog.
They know that the laws that we have on book do nothing.
State Representative Darius Keela is sponsoring a bill that would increase some misdemeanor offenses, such as the intentional death of an animal, to a felony. That would raise the minimum penalty at sentencing.
We can always charge them with the crime, but it then goes to prosecution and it goes down to a slap on the wrist.
Something Moniz says she's experienced herself.
In the past, had many cases where I had substantial evidence and videos and it was thrown out.
HB 698 will go for a full House vote next week. If passed, it will then go to the Senate. Meantime, we are told the puppy is okay and is being taken care of by the Good Samaritan who found him. Eddie Dowd, Hawaii News Now.
Now to an update on an H&N investigation into Hawaii's one-sided kidney trade. The committee in charge of making sure organs are distributed fairly did not consider Hawaii's proximity to the rest of the country. Records show kidneys are first offered to waiting list candidates within a 250 nautical mile radius of the donor hospital. But if a donated kidney matches a patient that the United Network for Organ Sharing considers biologically difficult to match, that patient gets first dibs no matter where they live. It's a policy that rarely benefits Hawaii residents. Over 8 years, hundreds of kidneys donated in the islands have been shipped to the mainland, where Hawaii has received only a handful in return. Hawaii Congresswoman Jill Tokuda is demanding answers.
This letter is really to make it very clear that we understand these extreme disparities exist. There is a problem. It is unacceptable. Give us more information. Talk about what you are going to do to bring about changes when it comes to access for rural and remote America, like Hawaii.
Tokuda's letter says a law passed in 2023 is meant to ensure the system operates fairly. She wrote, quote, "I believe it is important for Congress and the public to have a clear understanding of how the system is functioning, the efforts being made to address existing disparities, and how accountability is maintained. Only the Organ Procurement Transplant Network Board has the authority to change how organs are allocated."
Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. High surf has been the story over the past several weeks. Of course, we've got high surf on north and west facing shores right now, and a high surf warning is up for the north and west facing shores of Kauai, Oahu, Molokai, and the north facing shores of Maui. These are going to continue until 6 p.m. this evening, and a high surf advisory is up on the Kona coast of Hawaii Island until 6 p.m. this evening as well. I want to give you a quick look at our actual numbers for our surf and shoreline forecast. North facing shores around 20 to 25 feet, west facing shores 15 to 20 for this afternoon. We're going to be dropping again relatively quickly as we're going into the overnight hours tonight. South facing shores around 2 to 4, east facing shores a little bit small as well. You can see in our swell forecast more surf is on the way. I'll give you a breakdown of this in my full forecast coming up.
Thank you, Drew. The Trump administration is cutting thousands of jobs at the IRS. That has many Americans worried about the status of their tax returns. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger has details, including some new changes to the tax code.
For most taxpayers, the deadline to file their personal federal tax return, pay any tax owed, or request an extension is Tuesday, April 15th. Despite staff cuts at the IRS, the agency says that if you file electronically and use direct deposit, you should have fewer errors and avoid the headache of a delay. The average refund is usually received within 21 days if there are no issues with the return. There's one big change this year, and some people receiving a 1099-K tax form in the mail may wonder why. It's for freelancers and others who earn money by selling goods and services online and are paid through platforms like PayPal, eBay, or Venmo. The threshold for taxable transactions was $20,000 in 2023. Now it's just $5,000 for money earned last year. It will ultimately drop to $600 in 2026. That could force many more people to file a 1099-K, even someone who resold a concert or sports ticket at a marked up rate. In New York, I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
The U.S. Supreme Court hears arguments in a case that could change how discrimination claims are handled. I'm Bradley Blackburn with more on a woman who says she was discriminated against because she's heterosexual.
On This Is Now, former child star Michelle Trachtenberg is dead after she was found unconscious in her New York apartment. Plus, an event aimed at strengthening Hawaii's food service industry is happening right now at the Blaisdell. Casey Lund takes us there in 2 minutes. Former child star Michelle Trachtenberg has died. The 39-year-old was known for playing the lead role in Harriet the Spy. She also had roles in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 17 Again, and Gossip Girl. This morning, New York police responded to a luxury residential tower in Midtown where officers observed a female unconscious and unresponsive. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Foul play was not suspected, and the New York medical examiner is investigating the cause of death. The U.S. Supreme Court heard a case today that could dramatically change how the courts look at discrimination claims, and more specifically, reverse discrimination claims in the workplace. Bradley Blackburn reports from New York.
Marlene Ames hugged a supporter outside the Supreme Court Wednesday after the justices took up her discrimination case.
The justices saw clearly what was the issue and didn't want to go outside of that realm, which I applaud them for.
Ames had been working for the Ohio Department of Youth Services for decades when a position opened up as a bureau chief. But instead of a promotion, she was demoted. The colleague who replaced her was gay, and shortly afterward, the promotion went to a woman who was also gay. Ames sued for discrimination based on her sexual orientation as a straight woman.
Whether you're gay or whether you're black or whether you're white, everyone should be treated the same.
At issue is that about a third of the country's federal courts, including Ohio's, require people filing suit to prove a pattern of historical discrimination, a burden non-minority groups can't always show.
The question presented is whether a majority group plaintiff has to show something more than a minority group plaintiff.
The justices appeared to side with Ames that the background circumstances requirement is unfair.
It doesn't matter if she was gay or whether she was straight, she would have the exact same burden and be treated the exact same way under Title VII if she sued as someone who was gay and argued that they were discriminated against under Title VII.
Ohio officials deny Ames' claims and say she was demoted, quote, as part of a broader restructuring of the department. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
Here at home, Hawaii's culinary world is coming together for the Food Service Expo. It's a great opportunity for those in the industry to share best practices to serve you, the customer. Casey Lund has more from the Neil Blaisdell Exhibition Hall.
Aloha and welcome to the Neil S. Blaisdell Exhibition Hall for the 2025 Food Service Expo hosted by the Hawaii Restaurant Association. I want to get right to HRA's Executive Director, Cheryl Matsuoka. Hello and thank you for having us today. Tell us a little bit about this event. Now, of course, we've been at the Hawaii Food and Lodging event, but this is its own thing just for food service.
Exactly. Only for the restaurants, the food service industry, but of course the hotels also are a huge part of our members. So we invite all of them to come on down. It's a private event. So basically, if you're a decision maker, purchaser, own a restaurant, catering, come on down.
And again, so yeah, this isn't just for the public, for folks, but it's important that we're here because we get to showcase, earlier today, we've been with the Kilauea Rum Works, we've been with the Mochi Foods, we've been with all these local products that got their start right here in Hawaii and now are, the Hawaiian margarita from Kilauea Rum Works is in restaurants all over the world. They've been selling that at different places, and that's what events like this are all about.
Exactly. Even the mochi, right? It started here in Hawaii, and now it's international. That's what these events are about. It brings the community together, and you feature all of the locally made products. And where else can you do that but here at the Blaisdell Center? Yeah,
so exciting stuff. And then just curiosity, I know that we've obviously been through lots over the years. The COVID pandemic, our Maui restaurants still struggling, a lot of those businesses. People are dealing with egg prices right now. This is a better time than ever to make sure that we support our local eateries.
Yes, we ask the community to please support our local eateries, support your local restaurants and eateries. And this show is going to help them also keep their doors open by looking at all the new products, how they can save money, increase profitability and productivity.
I want to talk about that beyond just, food samples, all that fun stuff that all the people that come down here get to try, and I got to try today. There's also people like Altras, ADP. This is about setting them up for success in the business sense, right?
Exactly. The UHAs, the HMAA, all the medical providers, because we have to provide medicals for employees, looking at the best programs to provide your employees so that you can retain those employees, such as Altras, like you mentioned, such as ADP, all the services that are important to keep not only restaurants but businesses open.
And one last shout out, because we're almost out of time, for the Restaurant Association, the Education Fund, which brings up local kids that are maybe interested in starting a culinary career. Maybe the four-year university is not what they want to do. They have a way to stay here and be successful thanks to that.
That's right. That's right. The Hawaii Educational Foundation is all about 2-year programs in high school. Students got to go to high school, junior, senior year. By the time they graduate from high school, they have all the basic culinary skills and techniques and vocabulary that they need to start work.
And hopefully be successful. Stay right here. Open up an awesome new restaurant that people will support. And again, we want to thank the Hawaii Restaurant Association and all the vendors we had. This is going on today and tomorrow here at the Neil S. Blaisdell Exhibition Hall. Again, not open to the public, but an opportunity for those local businesses to really be set up for success and take their business well beyond Hawaii. We'll send things back to you for now.
Hey, thanks, Casey. Stick around. Coming up after the break, I'll walk you through our first alert forecast. Going to be seeing a lot more fog, especially with the eruptions at Kilauea. I'll walk you through the details of that coming up.
First Alert Weather with Drew Davis.
Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. The latest eruption at Kilauea paused again this morning, but not before putting on a dazzling show. Lava fountains as high as 600 feet were captured by USGS cameras, and episode 11 of the eruption started around 6:30 last night and stopped just after 7 a.m. Always awesome to see the videos coming out of Kilauea. Let's talk about what we've got in store over the next couple of days. Of course, fog and haze are in the forecast across the entire island chain. We're seeing some fog out there right now and also high surf. We'll go through your high surf forecast coming up in just a little bit. I do want to walk you through our fog forecast like I promised just a little while ago. This is over the rest of this evening. All of the fog that's been south of the island chain because of the southerly winds we're seeing outside right now is moving up over Maui County, Oahu, and also Kauai. Of course, the highest concentrations are going to remain over near Hawaii Island, but we're still seeing some fog across the rest of the state as we're going into this tomorrow morning. We might see a little bit of a break in the fog over Oahu, but still, it's in the forecast for the entire state throughout the rest of Wednesday and Thursday. Let's go island by island so you can see what's going on out there for tomorrow. Over on Kauai, scattered showers, partly sunny conditions, south-southwesterly winds over the western end of the state. In town around 84 degrees, Kaneohe around 84 as well. Scattered showers are possible with that front that we've been talking about just close to our north. Maui County, foggy and mostly sunny out there. Better chance for showers over the western end of the state than Maui County and Hawaii Island. Isolated showers possible over the Kona side of the Big Island. Widespread fog, of course. Hilo 84 degrees for a high temperature tomorrow, and moving up to the northern portions of the island, widespread fog and calm winds becoming more west and southwesterly in the evening. Breaking down the overall weather pattern, just a quick look at that front that's off to our north. Here's our first alert futurecast. A couple of showers possible out there throughout Thursday. Most of them, the best chance for rainfall is going to be over Oahu and Kauai. A few showers possible over Maui County and Hawaii Island, but the bulk again is going to be closer to that front, which is well to our north. All of that activity up there isn't going to get close to us. It's going to stay well to our north, but we could see some showers, and of course we're seeing the impacts in terms of fog because of these southerly winds. High surf warnings remain up until 6 p.m. this evening. High surf advisory for the Kona coast of Hawaii Island. And here's a quick look at the numbers again. North-facing shores are on the decline for this afternoon. Your first alert 7-day forecast. Beautiful weather out there over the next couple of days. A couple of showers possible on Thursday, and foggy conditions continue for the next several days.
Thank you, Drew. Still to come, like many people, the tooth fairy is tightening her belt. We'll tell you how much she's paying per tooth when we come back. Some good news now. Olympic gold medalist and 5-time world surf champ Carissa Moore is now a mom. Olena Lililehua Unterman was born at 3:39 a.m. Monday. The 32-year-old Moore posted these pictures on Instagram and wrote, quote, "Our little squish is here," end quote. As you can see, it looks like mom and baby are doing well.
Yeah, congrats to both of them.
Yeah, so exciting. All right, new data shows how the tooth fairy is getting a little stingy.
Delta Dental surveyed 1,000 parents, and they found the average payment for each lost tooth decreased by 6% last year to $5.84, but it really depends on where you live. Children in the West lead the pack, getting on an average of $8.54 under their pillow. In the Northeast, the tooth fairy is shelling out close to $7, and kids in the South are getting less these days, $5.50, and in the Midwest, the average payout is $3.63. Delta Dental does say the tooth fairy still pays a little extra for the first tooth.
I still feel like that's really high.
Yeah. How much did you get?
Oh, well, my grandparents' tooth fairy paid $20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Actually, that's a lot.